Yo guys, I'm back with my traditional Rogue patch notes video, this time for Season 3. As expected, not that many changes for the upcoming season. I still went over all the patch notes, all the interesting parts that I found for Rogue. As I said, not that much. I will just go over it real quick. Also, what I'm planning, I can already tell you. I will, of course, play some Rogue builds, something that looks interesting, especially with the new uniques. But I also think I will play different classes this season because, as I said, not that many changes. I think the big changes we will see next season for Bladedancer also. But yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe some cool mechanics will come out with the new uniques. I already have my plans. Actually, tomorrow I will present you my league starter. It's going to be Ignite Heartseeker Marksman with this new Wildfire amulet. Looks pretty good. I also have a character already in my live version, so I can show you tomorrow. Of course, not with the amulet, but it's looking pretty good. So let's see what happens there. Just quick summary. Marksman didn't receive anything from the patch note itself, just uniques will bring some variety in. Mostly what I saw, I think Heartseeker will benefit a lot from it. All the other skills, I don't know. I saw today that the Hydra bow kind of got nerfed with this mana consume. So yeah, I think Heartseeker is pretty much the winner again. Bladedancer, that was pretty cool to see. At least some small passive adjustments here. Dancing Strike, good quality of life update now. It will feel a lot smoother to play now. But as I said, I think we will see all the changes in Season 4. And for Falconer, again, just nerfs all over the place. I am personally, I don't know, I don't like the mastery anymore. It's just missing some kind of class identity there. It's just weird to play every time when I try to play like a Falconer build. At the end of the day, I don't know, like Dive Bomb or the bird itself does more damage than everything that I try to do. So this whole mastery for me is kind of dead at the moment. Also, there was no unique where I would really say, okay, I want to try something out with Falconer. It's just a weird mastery at the moment. So yeah, nothing too big actually coming up for Season 3 with Rogue, but as I said, I will try some stuff out with the Ignite Heartseeker, then I will try out the bow with some interactions. I want to play Dancing Strikes. This is going to be my second build with Bladedancer. Falconer, as I said, I will probably skip and then I will go over to different classes. I can already go here real quick. Like I said, nothing changed too much. Starters, Marksman, Heartseeker, pretty much the go-to. It's so easy to level. You don't need any gear. I still have the old Marksman leveling guide. Heartseeker, Fire to Cold. You can play Fire, you can play the Cold version. Very easy to play. I'm not saying that like Hail of Arrows or Multi-Shot is bad these days. Actually, Multi-Shot, I think, got some good buffs, but Heartseeker just mechanically is so good compared to the other skills that I would just purely recommend Heartseeker at the moment for Marksman. Bladedancer, Dancing Strikes, Shadow Cascade. There was one version that Wonder Dota back then posted. Very good build actually. I made a pure Shadow Cascade build back in 0.9. I haven't updated it, but pretty much Wonder Dota, and I think there was another player called Potato, I think was his name. He killed Uber Abbey with Shadow Cascade. Both pretty much used all the tags I used in my Shadow Cascade build with the mana sustain on Umbral Blades with the Shadow Cascade tree. So yeah, this build is looking pretty good actually. I would play it low life. And like I said, I will also try it with Dancing Strikes because it will probably feel very smooth now with this attack speed scaling. And for Falconer, I don't know, man, just go Shadow Daggers. It's still going to be one of the fastest leveling builds, but I personally don't see any interesting endgame build. It's probably still going to be broken. I can already tell you this. I mean, a lot of people were saying like it's going to be completely dead now. I don't think it's going to be dead. It lost a lot of damage, but Falconer did so much damage already that it's probably still good. I mean, probably day one, some players will test it offline and they will find out, okay, the numbers are still insane. So yeah, those are pretty much the go-to builds as a starter. I can already tell you probably from Marksman, this Acid Flask Trapper by SMK is still going to be probably the best Marksman build based on arena gameplay. I don't know how it feels really well mapping, probably still strong. I think he made like 2,000, 3,000 corruption showcase. So this is a broken Marksman build, pretty much based on the insane mana regen or mana on hit that you can get in the mastery. Icicle Heartseeker is still going to be a balanced, strong build, and multi-shot, you can play Lizard's version, which is more tanky. I have also like a really basic setup where I did all the content in the game. So yeah, those are pretty much the endgame builds from Marksman. Bladedancer, as I said, low life Shadow Cascade, probably the best build. Also the Chakram that I played last season, easily go to 1000 corruption, very tanky. Some people asked me, I didn't kill Uber Abbey because it was quite difficult mechanically to sustain the ward. I think the live version on Chakram or even Shuriken is better for Uber Abbey, because the problem with Chakram is if you play it like bad and you miss the Chakram, then you miss a lot of DPS. And live version, you get so much like health on hit back to sustain all the difficult mechanics there. I also saw, I guess, one Uber kill actually on Chakram from someone who was also online. So it is possible. I was just not having enough patience to try it a couple more times. So this is going to be good. And Lethal Mirage build from Amaretti is still a good build for Bladedancer. Falconer, probably all this Umbral Blade stuff is getting nerfed pretty hard, but I think the bleed version for Dive Bomb is still going to look pretty decent or very strong, actually. So yeah, we have to see. For Falconer, I have to be honest, Falconer is mechanically so difficult also to understand with all the interactions that it's quite hard to read out from all the patch notes how good it will be. But I think, like I said, some offline players in day one will find out how strong Falconer is. But now let's go over like the most important stuff, the interesting stuff, which was pretty much all the new uniques that came in. I picked some of them that were interesting for me in a rogue perspective. So, for example, those new Flay boots. There's a lot of text for Flay, but the last 3 lines are actually very good stats for something like Shadow Cascade with more movement speed, attack speed, and there's 52 more damage to high health enemies. You can combine this one with the execution node. So it's a very good synergy actually here with more damage multipliers here on the boots. Because also before Shadow Cascade, it was not really like unique heavy to play. So this is actually quite a good addition. This Wildfire Embers Amulet is going to be my league starter. I think this Ignite Proliv also is way better than the Bleed Pop gloves, because this Proliv is based for each second. The Bleed Pop is on kill, so this doesn't really help on bosses. And also here with the Proliv Amulet, you get those wisps, which is also like a big DPS increase for bosses in general. That's why I want to start Ignite. I will try Bleed Pop how it feels, but I think the Ignite version for Heartseeker is going to be pretty decent to play, actually. Sad part, as I said, Hydra Bow. I expected a very strong weapon, but now with this nerf here with the mana consume for the repeated arrows, all the ideas that I had are pretty much dead. So Blast Drain, because it has such a high mana cost, now you will probably still not be able to sustain it with all the repeats. Mana stacking DA was, or detonating arrow was one build that I played. It was very clunky to play, but I thought with this whole interaction that you can kind of snapshot the high mana pool and get some broken numbers. This is still something I want to test. This is pretty much the only broken interaction that I can still see with this Hydra Bow, but also I don't expect like anything big here. It's probably just going to be like a good speed farmer with, I don't know, Heartseeker or whatever, but Reign of Winter, Dragon Song still looking better than the Hydra Bow for sure. This Harmony of the First, which was pretty much known by the community for this broken spear. Maybe something is possible with this. The only Falconer build that I kind of always wanted to do was a Spear Falconer with Puncture Shadow Daggers proc. So maybe I can make something fun with this if I still want to play Falconer this season. There's this new dagger. I think the dagger in combination with Trader's Tongue is quite cool because you get a shit ton of level 2 dexterity skills. But in general, Trader's is still like pretty much the best dagger in the entire game. Then there was this Wings of Discord body armor. Pretty crazy one-shot protection. I think it was to 31, 32% less damage taken. Also dodge ward support, which is good for rogues. Like I said, just some items that I saw that kind of make sense with rogue together. Then this set ring, this Diablo 3 set ring. There are no really good set bonuses for rogue right now. Maybe someone comes up with a cool interaction there, but only like the Corsair set would bleed. I would still not use it here. All the other sets are not really helping rogue that much. There's this Butcher's Crown helmet, which sounds pretty strong, and I also heard some people they want to use it, but I can already tell you like Rogue doesn't have really much problems for life on hit, life on crit situations, mana sustain. The frenzy access is also very strong for Rogue, so I don't really want to use this helmet on a Rogue, to be honest, when there are better Primordials. This True Sight Glass looks insane for crit builds. I would personally use it on a Shadow Daggers build or multi-shot, because multi-shot is also not that unique heavy. But this is, or those are the builds where I can really see this amulet giving you quite a lot of damage. And then there was this one relic where you can do some idle stat stacking. Maybe someone will come up with some cool ideas here. Those were pretty much the most interesting uniques for Rogue that I saw. Then personally, I don't think that those Exalted affixes are better than the uniques, but there are some affixes for Rogue that are quite powerful. Damage with Shadow Cascade per active shadow. Then skills used by shadows, you can actually get quite a lot of numbers here with the increased damage source. Also, increased damage per arrow with multi-shot goes up to 1020% increased damage. That's quite insane. This one I can imagine as an Exalted affix actually for a build. Also, Shadow Daggers up to 300% is quite a lot. Maybe some ward gain on Shadow Creation. If you also combine this with a Sync Strike, reduced anticipation time here, and stack a little bit of attack speed, I think this could also feel pretty good to gain a lot of ward here. The ones that I put here, there were some that I'm not happy about. I used this one on my Crit Flurry setup. I think a T7 was 90% already, and this only goes up to 100%. I thought you can reach like higher to like 200%, but sadly this is capped here at 100. So yeah, still, I think the uniques are better than the Exalted mods, but I think you can test around a little bit here. Not really build enabling, but definitely some strong buffs that we can get here. Weaver Idols got nerfed, not that big, but still, yeah, I wanted to remind you that you will probably have lower numbers if you still have your old setup here. Then we can go over some unique item changes. The sphere that we pretty much had on all the cold lighting builds. Small nerf here. I think they just wanted to like buff the water orb damage itself, but not the cold damage or the lightning damage that you get for your main skill. Still, I think pretty decent relic that you can have. Talons, I don't know, higher legendary potential. They kind of want to probably delete Falcon at this time. Lot of the exile was pretty good to get like attribute stacking for red rings. Also a little nerf here. Pulse of the Swine was actually a very defensive amulet that you can use. They nerfed it also here, not that big, but it's still going to be a very decent amulet. So pretty much like nerfs all over the place. Brewmasters is probably still best in slot for a lot of builds. The Scissor, a small nerf here still. I think a very good stat stick. Black Blade. This is not really affecting like the Lethal Mirage build that we actually have. Bloodkeeper's Nest, I remember I tried something with bees, but it's kind of clunky to play, but still it got buffed, so maybe someone will come up with a cool build. I think I already saw a build actually on YouTube, but like I said, it's very clunky just to play. And my Ignite Heartseeker build that I want to play, I will definitely play with Ashes of Mortality. I will show you tomorrow. I reached like 6,000 ward like every 2 seconds. You can go very high, by the way. I was just testing it on my live version, but now it's kept at 2,000. Still, 2,000 ward is a lot every 2 seconds, so I will still keep it, but this was actually a big nerf for this ring here. Then don't forget, Chapter 10, I will also play slow, smooth next Thursday. I will actually play from Chapter 1 to Chapter 10. I will not skip Chapter 8. I just want to like see the whole story experience again and pick up the +1 all attribute from 9 and 10. So definitely something you want to get. Minion changes, of course, the patch is focused on minion, necro, lich, whatever. It affects Falcon and Ballista, not that much, but still, I still wanted to keep it mentioned here. Dual wield buff, it's just 1% less damage that we are taking while dual wielding, but we get 20% increased attack and cast speed, which is kind of cool here. Okay, let's go over the passives real quick. Pretty much all the passive changes are for Bladedancer. So the first one is Spellbreaker, now 1% parry chance per point. It used to be 4 frailty chance, which is now a threshold bonus for 3 points, which is 25%. Back then, it said both, it only said melee, but you were able to also get the frailty with throwing attacks. So I hope now this is also global without this tooltip here. You can also see that they probably want to focus. I mean, thematically, it makes sense on Bladedancer to get some parry. Right now, parry I don't see as a main mechanic, to be honest, but maybe in Season 4 it's a good change. This critical eye, also new threshold bonus. I like these threshold bonuses actually here. 30% crit avoidance. I hoped to get it a little bit higher, like 35, similar to Marksman and Falconer, but it is what it is. This Crimson Shroud is not big. They only added also a chance to do it with throwing attacks here, but you need to invest a lot, so not a very good passive actually here. Blood Dance, this is actually a big change. So now for dots builds, you can also get the leech here, which is quite powerful. And they removed this line here with increased health leech rate. And the last one was Cloaked Reaper. Not a very good passive, to be honest. It's the one with the health gain per stack of shrouds. Now you get flat health here. I never used it. I will probably also not use it again. So yeah, just a little addition for the passives here. For skills, also not much, guys. I'll be honest. For Falconer, I personally don't think Falconer is dead. Sure, it reads very hard. Also, dive bomb here, a lot of nerfs actually. But I'll be honest, like Falconer is mechanically so complex. We have to see when the build is live. I cannot really tell you now, but I think the only part where I feel this will hurt is the whole mana part here on dive bomb. So here the mana gain per point, also with the cooldown here minus 2 mana instead of minus 4. This falconry node here is the one where you get mana based on attributes. Like those are really the nodes that hurt a lot from a gameplay perspective. All the other things here. Okay, this one from Dive Bomb is like a dust shroud generation. This is now 1/3. I think still the numbers are going to be very strong. It's just something we have to see. Also, this cooldown recovery here. They like to do this new trigger limit of 10 times on area assault. I don't see that this one is like completely dead now. I think this is still good. For Dive Bomb, they pretty much added a lot of caps now. The only cap that they don't add was the one here with Gaping Wounds, which is the stun chance for ailment or more ailment damage. So I still think like a Bleed Dive Bomb version is going to be very strong. Probably the whole Umbral Blades stuff is yeah, nerfed really hard. But like I said, we have to see because all the mechanics were so broken on Falconer for the last years. It's just something that we need to test. I cannot guarantee you right now how good it will be. I'll be quite honest with you guys. Something we need to test. But the cool part, definitely for the skill changes, is Dancing Strikes. It gains now increased cooldown recovery speed, 50% of your total increased melee attack speed. This is very cool because now it feels a lot smoother to play. Also, right from the beginning. Before you always needed to put it on belts, on boots, so that it feels a lot smoother. But now you just have to scale melee attack speed. With dual wield, you get 20% already. So this will, in combination with something like Shadow Cascade, will probably feel very good. Damage effectiveness buff here, but still I would not recommend to go Dancing Strikes. Pure damage, it's still more like a support skill in my opinion. So very cool quality of life change here. That's probably the best change for Rogue in general. Puncture, this was obvious for me since the beginning because you never saw like Puncture having like a more AoE part. So this is just like specific now for melee. They added the tooltip here. This one also very cool change. This reduced anticipation time by 50%. I think this will feel very smooth now. I can remember when I played Sing Strike, I always added a little bit of melee attack speed and it already felt very strong or very smooth to play. And now with this one, probably in combination with the Dancing Strike, quality of life, very smooth and good change for Bladedancer in general. This one also, as I said, I kind of knew that the cap will is coming or now came, but you will still get a lot of more damage here. This, as I said, together with Dive Bomb, we'll have to see next week when the patch is live. Some other changes, not that much anymore. Visual, I just wrote this down. Acid Flash, now the Poison. The non-MTX version finally has a range indicator. This MTX was kind of pay to win. You always saw like how big the AoE is. Now this one, you can see it as well. The only thing that I'm still missing is Smoke Bomb, the normal version. The MTX version also has like a better visual indicator. They didn't mention it here. Umbral Blades, new cold explosion visual, so maybe that's a performance boost, because also every time when I converted it to cold, I really see like a performance drop actually when I played Umbral Blades. Shurikens, adjusted the trail visual, we have to see. Cool addition, definitely here. Affixes, nothing big to be honest. This one, I didn't know actually that Shadow Cascade damage boost scale would increase damage per arrow with multi-shot. Okay, never heard about this before, and then just some acid flash puncture stuff. Not too big to be honest. Yep, that's pretty much everything that I found. As I said, it was not that much for Rogue in general. Big highlight, of course, the uniques that we get. This will bring some build variety. All the other changes here for skills passive will not bring new build variety in. It will just make it a little bit more smoother here, but there's nothing really new to play, to be honest. Still in preparation, I think, for Season 4. We'll have to see what will happen, but I think the main focus for me this season will to test all the uniques that we got. I will test some Exalted Affixes. As I said, I will start this Ignite Heartseeker. I will showcase it tomorrow, how the idea is, basically how I will set it up. And other than that, I will do a Bladedancer, Dancing Strike, just to see how smooth it is. I will give you feedback, do some build guides again. And that's pretty much it for Rogue, I guess. So see you guys tomorrow.